Hey everybody, it's Queen of Light 1111. I hope you're all doing well. I was going to do this reading for my Instagram, but the messages were just way too powerful and it was just too much that I figured I should probably do this for YouTube because it's a lot to explain about what I'm getting. What I'm really getting today, I just want to go into a little bit of what happened this morning. So typically when I rise, I'll go through my phone, I'll check my emails, go through my Instagram. And I did a little bit of that, but then Spirit really nudged me to get up and to look at out the window, out of my guest room bedroom that looks out into my backyard. And I don't know why. Instead of, just getting up and brushing my teeth and, making breakfast, and then, going into that room to open the windows, I got up and I went to the back window. And there was like this little tiny movement. Like if I wasn't really paying attention or looking, like if I wasn't nudged, I would have totally missed it. But it was literally this little movement and out comes a snake. And I was like, oh shit. And I'm thinking right away, like, oh my God, I hope that thing doesn't like come into my house. And immediately I got this nudge that said, welcome this visitor just as you welcome the bunnies that come and visit. And I thought, yes, exactly. Okay, you're welcome here, but please don't come into my house. So, interestingly enough, as I'm run to get my camera to video it, because I'm like, I gotta share this with my Instagram followers. And as I'm holding the video, this like white butterfly starts flying around it, and it like fluttered so fast I couldn't even catch it on camera, and then it left. And so I was like, oh my God, like I got so excited I had to pee, right? So I went to the restroom, came back, snake has now completely disappeared. And I thought, oh my God, how could it disappear that quickly? Because I was literally gone for a minute. So I was like, okay, well, that was great, and I went, brushed my teeth, did my thing, went downstairs and started making my breakfast. And then all of a sudden, this like dove starts flying almost into my window. I was like, oh my God, like I hope it doesn't like hurt itself. And then another dove, and they came to the window and then they flew up. And I was like, wow, that's interesting. And then they came back again, and one flew, then the other one followed, disappeared. I can't even find it. Wasn't even sitting on the ledge of my fence, nothing, just like completely flew and disappeared, both of them. One then, and then the other follows. Then these two lizards, playfully just playing. Twos, everything in twos. Snakes are about transformation. Butterflies are about transformation. Something is changing. Something is shifting. I feel it. I feel it. Something is shifting and changing. And when I got the doves and I saw that like one flew, then the other flew, it almost feels like that collective message is that there's a transformation occurring in the runner chaser dynamic. So that was several hours ago. I had my breakfast, I had my tea, I sat down, I didn't really feel like doing any readings. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll do a quick reading on Instagram. And then I got these cards and I was like, okay, I have to do a reading. So I don't know if you guys are all about, like, there's two types of people, right, in this world. People that don't believe in signs and people that believe that signs from God are in everything. And I am one of those people. I believe that there is a message, there is a sign that Spirit wanted to communicate to me around what this energy shift is today. And here is the message. Bottom of the deck, that masculine and feminine share at the bottom of the deck is the card of Lilith. Okay, I'm using the divine, what am I using? The divine feminine and divine masculine reunited deck. I love this deck because it has a card of supporting issues, challenges. It has gods and goddesses, and the energies are just so beautiful. So I've decided to use this deck today. And we have as the bottom of the deck, Lilith. So when Lilith comes out as the bottom of the deck, this is the energy which is all about authenticity, When Lilith comes here, so if you guys know the story of Lilith, right, at least in this book, it says that Lilith and Eve were sisters. They were created the same moment as Adam. But Lilith was like, hey, I am not less than you, Adam. We are equals. And because she held that belief, she was cast out of the Garden of Eden because she was not submissive. So this energy here is about, Eve then would be the suppressed, repressed, according to this story. Okay, I'm sure there's many different schools of thoughts, but she would be the repressed feminine. But here, Lilith is in the energy where she is wild, fully in her power. She runs free. She's not afraid of her sexuality or speaking the truth. How many times in your life as a feminine have you dimmed your light for someone or something? How many times did you not speak your voice because you were feared that you would be thought of as a, bitch, right? How many times did you fear that? This message today is saying feminine is in her authenticity. I feel like this is telling me that feminine is in the energy of embodying Lilith, feeling safe in her authenticity, that she doesn't care what anybody thinks or who, no one is there to judge her. She doesn't need anyone's validation. I feel like the way that this comes out from masculine is that he sees his feminine and her power in his authenticity, and he is battling for the same. So the bottom of the deck, we have goddess of power, and for feminine, the moon. She is embracing her shadow. She is embracing her intuition. She is embracing any deception that may have occurred, anything that was in the shadow. She's in this energy where the darkness, the shadow, those energies may have scared her before. But now she's been through the shadow, she's come through the shadow, and she sits in the light. And she is a beautiful balance of both the light and the moon. Okay? So what about for masculine? 7 of Wands. He's been fighting for his power. He has been blocking his intuition. He's been in this energy where, maybe he wasn't comfortable with feminine being in her power, in her authenticity, because he wasn't in his power and in his authenticity. But now he's making a stand. He wants to connect to his intuition. He wants to rise in both the 5D and the 3D and reclaim his power, because the feminine has given him the example that, I don't really care what you think. I don't care what you think. I am wild. I am free. I am woman. So divine feminine's overall energy today, goddess of magic, Isis. So when this card comes out, this is all about the energy of magic. Divine feminine, seeing that she is full of magic. And in this card, this picture, this illustration, according to the book, says that this picture is right before she found her beloved Osiris after he died. And she was in grief. She, her beloved was taken away from her. Grief took over. The legend says that her tears filled the Nile. But this was despair. This was the despair. This was the darkness. This was the shadow that she was in to reclaim her magic. And in her magic, she brought Osiris back to life. So this healing energy that has been stripped away from women, from the witches and from all these people over and over again, because people didn't agree with it, because of religion, because of all of these different ideologies. She's in this energy where she feels safe. Feminine feels safe to connect to her intuition, to connect to her shadow, to connect to her spiritual powers, to connect to her healing. And that is all because of these third party situations. There was this grief and this sadness and this despair that she felt because of masculine's third party situations. But she has risen up. Not only has she risen up, but she is helping others rise up and come into their peace, come into their harmony, to come into their magic. What about divine masculine? The god of battle. Now, when I saw the name of this was what told me I have to do this on YouTube. Aries or Eris or whatever. Aries, okay, it sounds like Aries. God of battle. Divine masculine's overall energy at this time is this energy of battle. This is the card that talks about that wounded masculine. Okay, a part of this masculine has been warped, has been affected. His inside, his inner heart, his soul has been affected around action and around protection. Because here's the thing, in the book, in this card, the way it's depicted in this deck, you know, there were many, many battles in the past that men had to leave their women, leave their counterparts, so that they can go to war to protect the community, to protect her, the environment. And in order to do that, he had to detach from his heart. He had to detach from his feminine so that he could do this work. So part of that work and that battle, his heart gets hardened. Okay? Or his heart gets wounded. And then he wounds his inner feminine, then wounds his outer feminine. And the feminine, who then waits for the masculine to return, right? It just twists the whole connection. He's wounded, he's hurt, he's pained, she gets wounded, hurt, and pained. And it's just these wounds that keep being triggered and keep coming up. And it's a theme that keeps coming up. So he's been in energy around battling for his legacy, battling for his environment, battling for his wealth, for his stability, battling for the long term. And he's battling now to mature. He's battling now to develop. He's battling now and he's learning from his experiences. So this energy for masculine has a lot to do with his battle to develop. He has been in this energy of battling himself, battling his intuition, battling his feminine, wounding his feminine, leaving his feminine. What I'm really getting is he had to leave his feminine. He had to choose other courses of his path, whether it's third parties or career or what have you, as part of his development and maturity. That is what was required of him. That is what he wanted to experience and how he wanted to learn. Who are we to tell masculine, no, you should just learn the way we did, meditate, release, let go, hang out with your soul tribe, right? No. They're active energies. They have to battle. They're yang energy. They go out, they battle, they choose these things. Feminine's more receptive. She's going within. She goes into her intuition. She goes into healing. That is how she has risen up from this magic. So what I'm really getting is masculine wounded her with third party situations. But that is how she rose into her power. That is how she embraced her authenticity. That is how she embraced all of her gifts. That is how she developed her gifts. And now she is in this peace. She's in this harmony. She's embracing her magic because of masculine's wounding, because of masculine's lesson. And masculine's energy, he had to fight. He had to go out. He left the feminine. He chose third parties. He chose money. But that was the battle for him to trust his intuition, to stand by his intuition, to see how the feminine rises up, and then he can then rise up and develop. So I had to do this. I hope that this resonated for all of you. And if you want to book your own personal reading or coaching session or healing session, go to queenoflight1111.com. I really hope this helped you. I feel change is coming. I really, really do. The change is coming. The change is here, actually. The change is here. Development is here. Peace is here. Harmony is here. Authenticity is here. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.